sharp at 8:30. Okay, 6 minutes of time is very important for those who are going for job. Okay, please, this beginning of your JCL. Okay, don't waste your time. Don't waste others' time also. Please, from tomorrow onwards, I'll not wait even for a minute after 8:30. I will start the class. Those who are joining late, I'm not responsible. So you can see my PPT? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, now, this is your first class.
Okay. And as I have said you, the moment the slide comes, you are taking the pic of it, and then once the class is done, you have to note down everything into your class notebook. If you are not writing, if the pics are gone, I will not give you backup. Okay. So whatever is there in the slides, you will not get it in the material. What is there in the material, you will not be getting it here. Okay, both of them are different information you will be getting. So here you will be studying a front-end technology, two back-end technologies, a programming language, and this language called as JCL, which mainframe can understand. I know there are one or two few new candidates here in today's batch. Whatever has been done for your friend, that backup will be given for you. Then every day no video is required, only audio. That too you have to mute it. Only if you are speaking you have to unmute it. Please sit in a calm place without any disturbances, and when a slide comes, I will be explaining, and on that what is the interview related questions I will be telling you, that you will be noting down in your interview questions and answers notebook. I said 3 notebook, one for the classroom, one for the lab, and one for the interview questions and answers. Okay. Now JCL, this is how a JCL looks like. Okay. Around 6-7 lines. Okay, not more than that. But small changes will be there. This utility change, few things will be there, not more than 8 to 9 lines. Okay, this is how this programming language will be for you. Okay. Now, what is the full form of this? Job control language. That means a language which controls your job. What is job? Any work you do in your mainframe is called as a job. Say job is a unit of work given to the operating system. When you go to ATM, withdraw money, that is a job to the mainframe. When you, again I am telling you, Guru Prasad, video is not required. See, you can see a pic here, okay, video pic. That if you click, you can close that. Then.
Hello?
Tell me,
Ravi.
That is what I came here.
Same link, pa. Same link only. You attended, no? There is the same link.
Okay. And
I'll message now.
once the class is started, if you message anything in the WhatsApp group, I will not be watching. Okay, so I will be explaining here. I will not be opening my WhatsApp. If you have any problem in joining or anything, give a call to me or sir. Okay, I will not be able to watch your WhatsApp messages. Then coming back to, see now when I say when you withdraw money from your ATM, that is a job to the mainframe. When you pay for Google Pay, Phone Pay, when you transfer the money, that is a job to the mainframe. So any unit of work given to mainframe is called as a job. To do that job, we need a language. That language is JCL. So what is job is your interview question. Please, when the questions are said, note down what is job. Now, the next is definition of JCL. Once the slide comes, I'll give you some time to take the pic. Now, in mainframe, we have two types of activities. One is called as batch activity, other one is called as online activity. See, online activity means when you go to ATM, withdraw money, it is online. When you book a reservation, your railway reservation or airline, whatever it is a online activity. When you transfer money, it is an online activity. But what is batch activity? See, for example, Wipro wants to announce a bonus to the employees. Okay, so there may be 10,000 employees. Okay, so we say JCL is a language which coordinates with the batch activities of the operating system. Okay, this is the best definition what you can give for JCL. See, I don't know what is your problem. Can you hear me or not? Guru Prasad, video is not required. One minute. Then, see, JCL is a scripting language of operating system to instruct the system on how to run a bad job or start a subsystem. This is the second definition what you can give for JCL. That means, see, if you want to write a JCL, what you are giving here? See, you are giving a job. You are telling once this program is successful, you want to get a notification. What is this? I'll be explaining you in the later classes. How much time it requires, okay? Where it has to be stored, how much output has to be generated. All those things you are going to instruct in your JCL. So, we are saying it is a scripting language of MVS operating system to instruct on the system how to run a bad job. This is one thing. And when I was discussing, I said you COBOL is a high-level language which mainframe cannot understand. DB2 is a SQL language, again mainframe cannot understand. CICS is a command level language, mainframe cannot understand. So what we are doing, all these things, we are converting it to JCL, and then if you submit, mainframe can understand. Okay, so mainframe can understand only JCL. So what we are doing, at that time, we will write a JCL, a ready-made JCL given by IBM, you will be having, where you are going to make some changes and you are submitting your high-level language or a command-level language there. So at that time, JCL acts as an interface between an operating system and an application program. This definition holds good only when it comes to COBOL or CICS or DB2. Okay, if someone has a definition, the first two only holds good. This comes only when you are using JCL in COBOL or DB2 or CICS. Then, one more definition. JCL is a set of statements that you go to tell the ZOS operating system about the work you want it to perform. What do you mean by that? Look here. See here, in this program, I am copying the records from one PS file to another PS file. Okay. At that time, what happens here? I am instructing a JCL to copy the records from one data set to other data set. So we say JCL is a set of statements. You have seen around 7 statements there. You are writing to tell your operating system what work it has to do. This is one more definition. Or we can say it's a language used to describe the steps of a batch program. Like this, various definitions are there. Whichever you are comfortable with, you can tell in the interview. No, but normally you will have what is JCL, define JCL. This is the next question what you can note down in your interview questions and answers notebook. And whatever has been done in the tomorrow's class, you should be in a position to tell me without seeing your book. At that time, I'll ask you to switch on your video and you have to tell me. And all these 5 definitions, you have to set and note down in your notebook. Only when you write, you will understand. If you are not writing, I cannot help. I can take horse to water. Can't make it drink, isn't it? I am telling you, see, if you want to clear your interviews at the very first interview, you have to do whatever instructions given by me. Now, before I move to the next slide, please tell me if you have any doubt in any of these definitions.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. See, I want answers from every one of you.
No, ma'am.
What happens is, you will not respond to me now. After 2 days, 3 days, or after completion of JCL, they will come back to me telling that I have not understood anything. Okay, I don't want all those things. If you have any doubt, you are always welcome to ask me doubt. Okay. Now, see, before you do a JCL, you need to understand this JCL coding sheet. Do you remember when you created a PDS file and a member, you saw these 6 red color stars and these blue color stars without any spaces? Then you gave I inserted, a line was there for you. So do you remember this one?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So this 6 red color stars you will not be using. From this blue color stars you will be writing your coding. And in mainframe you have 80 columns and 24 rows, what you can see at one side. Okay, so this 80 columns, how it is been divided, where you have to write what you are going to learn in this JCL coding sheet. But see here, you can see column number 1 to 72. That means you can see only up to 72 columns here. 73 to 80, if you have to press, you have to type F10 to see those things. Okay, that you will be learning. Okay, so this first column, the first star, what you see is called as first column. This is second column. So in the first 2 columns, what you are writing, from the 3rd to 10th column, what you are writing, all these things you will be learning in your JCL coding sheet. Now that I am going to explain. Okay, so as I have to write this identifier field, I have left a gap here, but no gap for you. Okay, you are not writing. So this JCL coding sheet from 1 to 80 columns is divided into 5 fields: identifier field, name field, operation field, operand or parameter field, and the comment field. They'll ask you in the interview, name the hierarchy of your JCL coding sheet. What is the hierarchy? Identifier, name, operation, operand, or comment. This is the hierarchy. You cannot write name first, then operation, or then comment. No, this is the hierarchy what you have to follow. Okay, R. They may ask you what are different fields of your JCL coding sheet. Okay. Now, this first two columns is called as identifier field, where you can write few things. What you are going to write, I will tell you. Before that, what you do, take a fresh page and write this one. Okay, so below identifier field, what you have to write, I will be telling. Name field, I will be telling something. So take a fresh page and preferably unruled long notebook will be good. Note down this. Once it is done, let me know. When I am explaining, you can note down all those things. Okay. Take a page and note down this one from 1 to 80. Whatever you are seeing in the same pattern, you note down.
Hello, ma'am.
Tell me, Pa.
Ma'am, you want to write the text account 385 years, that's also, ma'am?
No, Pa, not required. This you will be learning later on. You just write this one.
Written, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, others, once it is done, please let me know.
Okay.
Oh, written, ma'am. Done.
Written, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Done. Okay. Now, in the identifier field, below this identifier field, write this 2 forward slashes, give a arrow mark and write start of JCL. I will be explaining you. First you note down that.
Repeat it, ma'am.
What, Pa?
Repeat it, ma'am.
Write this 2 forward slashes below this identifier field, give a arrow mark and write start of JCL. Then the next line, you write 1 forward slash and a asterisk and write delimiter and note down marks the end of a JCL step. Below that you write all these 3, 2 forward slashes and a star. Everything below identifier field you have to write. Done?
Done, ma'am.
Now, when you are writing these two forward slashes, when you have to write delimiter, when comment, when null, I will explain you. I will explain you comparing it to a locomotive. See, I can compare this JCL to a train because a train contains a bogie engine, isn't it? What an engine do? It pulls all the bogies. In the same way, I have a job card which I can compare it to engine because I will have only one job card throughout the program, and in the same way one engine. Now, so first thing is you will have an engine, then only you will be having bogies. In the same way, the first statement what I write in JCL is called as a job statement, which gives a name for the job, and in the job statement I can give I can tell how much time my program is required for running, how much memory it requires, whether that memory should be real memory or virtual memory. Like this, many things I am going to give instructions here in the job statement. Then I can have many exit statements called as steps. Like this, you may have many bogies for a train, isn't it? In the same way, I can have many exit statements. How many exit statements I can have? 255 exit statements for a single job. Please make a note. 255 exit statements we can have for a job. Minimum one, maximum up to 255. This is an interview question. How many exit statements you can have for a job? 255. When some interview questions are said, please note down. Every time I cannot set note down. So when I discuss interview questions, please start noting down.
Robi Jain.
Robi, have you joined?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Now, the next is, inside a bogie, you will have seats to sit, isn't it? In the same way, inside a step, I will be having many DD statements. What are those DD statements? What is the function of that? Studying that about itself, 1 hour theory class for you, which we'll be doing in the later classes. Then, to separate the bogies, you will have a link, isn't it? Have you noticed that when two bogies are separated with or joined with a link? In the same way, two steps are joined or separated, whatever you want, is with a delimiter statement. What is delimiter? One forward slash in the column and an asterisk in the second column if you write. That is called as a delimiter, which tells the end of that particular step. See, this link tells you this bogie is ended, and then the next. Again, this link will tell this is ended, like this. Okay, in the same way, you write a delimiter to separate out the steps. Then, at the end of a bogie, there will be a red color X mark. Have you noticed it? For every train, there will be X mark at the end of the bogie.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that
Yes, ma'am.
indicates. Very good. That indicates that it is the last bogie, because see, when the train keeps traveling, it may be traveling through a forest or whatever it is. Every station, the station master ensures that this bogie is intact or not. If it is intact, we can say that all the bogies are intact. If this bogie is not there, what happens? Somewhere something would have happened, some bogie would have been dismantled, all those things, isn't it? So this marks the end of the train. In the same way, to tell my job, this is the last step. We write 2 forward slashes and after that we don't write anything. That marks the end of job. Here, 2 things you have to note. To end the step, we write a delimiter. To end the job, we write a null statement. See, in TCS, there was a technical written test. Okay, there they have asked which marks the end of a job. Option, a delimiter and a null they have given. So job means null, step means delimiter. So no confusion here. Okay, you have to be very careful here. So this is how I can compare all these things to a train. Now coming back to, so these are the things we write in an identifier field. So understood what you are writing in identifier field? What does that mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, one more thing I have left out. 2 forward slashes and an asterisk. First 2 columns you are writing 2 forward slashes and an asterisk in a third column is called as comment. What do you mean by that? Here you can use this comment line for 2 things. One is for commenting about the program. Okay. So if you want to comment, see what is this program for? Now I am telling this is a program to copy the record from one PS file to another PS file. You may remember now. After some time if you don't remember, so what to do? Comment about that. See, this is a program to copy record from one data set to other data set. So like this you can use this comment. See how your friend has used, you can see here. See, this is a program for copying PS to PS. Okay, you can comment about your program like this. For example, you don't require this particular line right now. So what you do? Insert a space here and write a star. So what happens? This particular line gets commented out. When a particular line is commented out, operating system will not execute that line. So comment can be used for 2 things. One is if you don't want to execute a particular line, use a comment, or if you want to comment about your program, also you can comment. Or the other way is, see, comment can be done in 3 ways. One is by writing 2 forward slashes and an asterisk and write something that is considered as a comment, or after anywhere leave a gap, 1 line space and write something that is also considered as a comment. Because if you want to continue, you need a comma. See here I have written a command, I have written something. If I leave a space and after that whatever I write is considered as a comment only. The third is again from the 73 to 80th column whatever you write is considered as a comment. So in JCL there are 3 ways of commenting. One by using 2 forward slashes and asterisk, or in any line leave a gap space and then write something that is considered as a comment. The third is from 73rd to 80th column. Now whatever you have understood, please note down in your book. Noted down?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Ma'am, one question. Is there any effect of comment in a program?
what pa?
Is there any effect of comment in a program?
I'm not getting Ensetta.
Ma'am, any effect of a comment line in a running program?
Wait 1 minute, I'm not getting. Who is this? Who's asking this? Sudama, tell me.
Comment line is any. Is there any effect in a running program of comment line?
It is, your voice is breaking completely, pa. Come again, please.
Hello, ma'am. Audible? Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Is there any effect of comment line in a running program, ma'am?
Any command line in the running program.
What do you mean by any comment in a running program?
He is asking, is there any effect? He is asking about effect.
No, pa, it won't do any. See, anywhere you can write this. Okay, now, this is a program for copying PS to PS. You write it in the beginning, no problem. You don't want to use this line, you comment. So what happens when you comment, the operating system will not touch this line. Okay, it will think that this line has to not to be executed. So in a running program only you can write. Why? Because this won't be executed by the operating system.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. I understand.
Because I don't know, maybe a network issue from your side or my side. I had a lot of voice breaking. Okay. Now, if they ask you to explain identifier field, you are telling. See, identifier field is the first field in a JCL coding state. It starts from the first column and goes up to second column. If I write 2 forward slashes and I can continue my coding, it indicates that I am starting my JCL. If I write a forward slash in the first column and asterisk in a second column, it is called as a delimiter, which marks the end of a JCL step. And if I write 2 forward slashes and asterisk, that considered as a comment, that line won't be executed by the operating system. And if I write only 2 forward slashes and if I don't write anything after that, it is called as a null statement. Okay, it marks the end of a JCL, end of a job. And after null statement, if you write something also, it won't be executed. Now, from the third column to the 10th column, the 8 characters is called as a name field. Now, in main set, we have 3 statements: job, exec, and DD. If my statement is a job, I'll write a job name here. If it is an exec, I write an exec name. If it is a DD, we write a DD name. What are the rules for writing a name field? See, the name field will start from the third column. Okay, it will be 8 character, minimum 1, maximum up to 8 characters. See, my job name is 8 characters, whereas my DD name is only 3 characters. So it can have minimum 1, maximum up to 8 characters. I can write any alphabet between A to Z, any number between 0 to 9, and the national characters @ $$ can be used. But remember, the very first character should be alphabetic or national, but not numeric. See, I have used numeric here, 0, 1, 3, 2, all those things, but not in the first column. Okay, these are the rules for creating a job, exec, and DD name. My job name should always be the user ID to which we have logged on. This is very important. Okay, whereas in the real time it can be anything, but in our training environment, the job name should be always the user ID to which we have logged on. And though I said minimum 1, maximum 8 characters for the job name, that is applicable only in the real time environment. Here, my job name should be mandatorily 8 characters. Okay, whereas my user ID is only 6 characters. You might have noticed the, okay, so other 2 characters, you write any alphabet, A, B, B, C, D, F, whatever you want, you write. Make it 8 characters and then only you have to submit. If you don't write this, you will get an error called as enter job name characters. Like that, you will get an error. But for exec and DD, it can be minimum 1, maximum. You just write yes here as a step name, D as a DD name, whatever you want you can write. You can write Arjun there, Anil there, whatever you want you can write. Okay, but for the step 1 DD. Normally what we'll do, instead of that we write step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, S1, S2, S3, like that we write. Okay, but you can write anything here sticking on to these rules. What are the rules? Minimum 1 character, maximum up to 8 characters, any alphabet between A to Z, any number between 0 to 9, and the national characters @ can be used. Okay, sticking on to these rules, you can write anything. Now, have you understood the rules for writing a job, exec or DD name?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. They will ask
For DD name,
what pa?
for DD name is also minimum 1 and maximum 8 character.
For exec and DD, but for job mandatorily 8 characters in a training environment. But in the real time when you get into your anything.
Okay.
Now see here, they have written TCN50 RV, something yes written. Okay, those 2 characters can be anything, but only alphabet. And in the previous class, one of the student gave another number here, 28, and he was telling my program is not executing. No numbers here. These 2 characters are called as trailing letters. Okay, so it should be always letters. Any alphabet between A to Z. No numbers, no national characters here. But here, then 11th column should be always a blank. Look here. See, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11th. 11th is a blank. Can you notice this blank here in the 11th column? So, 11th column is always a blank because operation field should be preceded by a blank and followed by a blank. Okay. So 11th is a blank. So I have written B here and I have scratched it to tell you that it is a blank. Next one is the operation field. Operation field starts from the 12th column, goes up to 15th column. Okay, 12, 13, 14, 15th column belongs to operation field. Here we have 3 types of operation: job, exec and DD. Okay, so job is an operation, exec is an operation, DD is an operation. So what a job will do, what a exec will do, what a DD will do, that you will be learning in your later classes, where each one will take a so each one will take 1 day's class for you. Now, see, you have to start from the 12th column only. 12 is J, 13th O, B is 14. 15 should be a blank, 16 should be a blank, 17th onwards only you are writing the parameters. Okay. But whereas this exit 12, 13, 14, 15, all the four it is filling, only 16th is a blank. Whereas DD only 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is a blank. So normally students what they'll do, see here after step 1 I have a space, so one line gap they'll write the exit here. No, you are not supposed to write. This job exit DD should come one below the other in the 12th column only. See, please notice this. If you take a pic of this, you will understand how you have to write the program. Students, I don't know why, normally leave a gap and start the exit here. No, you should not do. It should start from the 12th column only. Though you have a space, you cannot write it here. It has to be from the 17th column only. This is the coding sheet rule. If you have understood the coding sheet rules, writing JCL is not a difficult task at all. If you are not understood, it will show you all Greek and Latin for you. Now, 16th is always a blank. From 17th column to 72nd column, you call it as a parameter field. What are parameters? Parameters are the one which tells the attributes of your operation. So, now for example, if I have someone describe Vignesh or Venu, what you will do? You will tell his height, weight, color, whether he is having a curly hair or silky hair. You start describing that person, isn't it? In the same way, using the parameters, we describe this operations, job, exec or DD. Okay, for this we have many parameters, around 9 to 10 parameters we have. Discussing about this itself will take you one day class for you. Okay. So, this is about the parameter field. Then 73 to 80th column is called as comment field. Whatever you write here, operating system will not execute. Now, tell me one thing. If something is not getting executed, why should I write here?
To understand the site.
Very good. Very good. To understand about this program, to comment about this program, or to document about this program. Whatever you understand, you can write. See, now, for example, Mohammed has written this program. One fine morning, he gets a better job, he goes to that. Though he has given a knowledge transfer, the person who comes new to that place, he may not understand. So what he will do? Mohammed, if he has written, commented about, documented about this program in the 73 to 80, the new guy can understand this one, isn't it? So the 73 to 80th column is considered as a comment field used for documentation purpose. What do you guys do? You write in the comment field, give a arrow mark and write used for documentation purpose. Please note down that. Used for documentation purpose. That is again an interview question. What is comment field used for? Okay. Now tell me, have you understood this JCL coding sheet? Or if you have any doubt, please let me know.
Ma'am, can you please repeat operand field?
Yes, ma. See, you have written this program. Whether it is successful or not, how do you know? Whether the records are copied from this Texacan PS1 to Texacan PS2. This data that is copied or not, how do you know? So for that, I am writing a parameter called as notify equal to ampersand system user ID. See, this identifier field, so I have written in blue. This is a name field, so in red. So I'm matching the colors so that you will not have any confusion. Now, when I write this notify equal to ampersand system user ID, once this program is successful, it gives notification to this user ID whether it is successful or any abnormal termination. If it is successful, you will get a return code of 00. Where, how you will get all those things, I will tell you. Okay, tomorrow I'll give you a lab demo where how to write this program, everything I will be showing you, and then I will explain that. Okay. So it will, if there is any errors, see you have not followed the coding sheet rules. Okay, this data set is not existing, you have given it here. For example, you have created with PS11. You forgot to write 11, you gave 1. So this data set is not existing. It will throw you errors. So if there is any error, it will throw in the form of 4, 8, 12, 16, depending upon the severity of the errors. For that, I need this notify parameter. After this, I will be writing time parameter, which you will be learning in your later classes. So how much time is required for this job to execute? I can write with the time parameter. I will write, if I want a printout of this one, how much printout I want, where I want it get it printed, how, in a blue paper or a bond paper or a, you might have heard, no, executive bond paper, A4 size paper, A2 size paper, all those things. So how do you want your job to be printed? For that you have certain parameters. Like this, we have many parameters which we will be writing from the 17th to 72nd column. Got it, ma'am?
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone else, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Vignesh,
Ma'am.
any doubt?
Comment field is after 72 column. If we write in 71 column, it will execute.
Yes, up to 72 it will execute. 73 to 80 only is considered as a comment. If you are not commenting, a line numbers gets generated there. How? I'll give you demo in the tomorrow's class.
Okay, ma'am.
Dayalan, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Dayanandan, isn't it?
So just
Any doubt?
no, ma'am.
Okay, Akbar, understood? Okay, fine. Yes, fine.
Ma'am, in program sheet you told that after in that line if we after slash line and we put asterisk, then that comment and that line will be non-commented, na? You can repeat that line.
Yes, pa, I will repeat. See, now I don't want this line to be executed. For example, this fourth line. So what I will do, you have a insert button in your laptop, isn't it? If you press that, a line get inserted here, a space get inserted, and you can write a comment so that this won't be executed for you. That is how you comment a line. Or you want to tell what is this program for? Okay. This is a program for copying record from one data set to other data set. Like this, you can also comment. So for that, you are using 2 forward slashes in the first 2 column and an asterisk in the third column.
Okay, ma'am.
And see, for the second time also, if you have not understood, just for my satisfaction, you need not tell, okay, even if you are not understood, you can ask n number of times. See, my intention is you have to understand the topic well. You understand it well in the theory and then go to the lab, then only it will be easy for you. Otherwise, You cannot see if I have not understood coding sheet where you have to write what. Then what you will write? You will not write anything. You will not understand. See, I will be explaining this program for you in the tomorrow's class. Okay. When I explain this, if you are not understood theoretically, what will you do in your lab? You cannot do. So, if you have any doubts, you are always welcome to ask doubts. Okay. Now, this is enough because in the very first class, I don't want to dump much into your heads. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes, Pa?
at the end we will write null.
Yes.
Before
Yeah.
null, we will write the delimiter.
No problem. Actually, delimiter also is not required. Null is also not required. If you can end it with session dd dummy. But if you have a second step like this, see, there I have shown you only one step program. If there is a second step, then writing this delimiter becomes mandatory.
Okay.
And null. See, you have ended with a delimiter, you are not writing null also, no problem. Null tells that this is the end of a job. If you don't tell also, it is not an issue.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
So, that's it for today. What do you do? Whatever.
Go with
So, whatever you have done, okay, whatever has been discussed, please note down, because every day if you write, it will not be a difficult task. Note down in your class notebook. It may take another 1 hour for you. No issues. Note down when you write, you will get some doubts. If you have any doubt, you can make a call to me or send a message, okay? From 9 to 9, anytime you can send a message. If I see, I will respond it. Otherwise, in the next day's class, you can ask. Okay. From tomorrow onwards, you will be having a lab. But today, again, please do the lab by creating PS file, PDF members, everything. Please do it. And Guru Prasad and sir, any other new candidates you have here, please call sir, so that we'll make arrangement for giving a demo, what is this PS file, what is this PDF file, everything. And again, if someone else have any doubt in creating a PS file, PDF file, creating, deleting a member, renaming a member, all those things, just draft a message in group telling that I need one more demo for a lab. Then I'll make arrangement for that. Okay, because this will be the last demo what you will be getting. From tomorrow onwards, you will be creating on your own. So even if you have any doubt, you are welcome to ask, so that I'll ask my lab coordinator to give you demo. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. You can leave the meeting. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay.